Good morning, flute players. I'm so excited to hear that you've started your band adventure in 4th grade, learning how to play the flute. So I'm Mrs. Haderthauer. I'm the band director at the middle school and the high school. So if you keep playing your instrument, you'll see me in a couple of years, and I really hope you'll keep going. So Mr. Andolino reached out to me because flute has a couple challenges, but it's also the instrument I have played since 4th grade. So I was in your spot many years ago, and I understand the challenges, but have some tricks to help you. So this is to help you on your first lesson. So hopefully you all have your flutes, or else this will not work very well. So what we're going to do is you always want to open up the case to your flute on your lap. Most instruments will do it on the floor, but the flute case is small enough that you can do it right on your lap. Now, depending on what your case is, make sure you know what the top is. You don't want the flute falling out. There's a lot of mechanical parts that if they bend very easily, and you don't want to do that. So you want to take care of it. My suggestion is you give your instrument a name. If you give your instrument a name, you'll take a lot better care of it, and you want to make sure it stays really nice because it's going to bring you a lot of enjoyment. So I'm going to try to lower this down. So you're going to open up the case, and then you'll see that there are 3 sections. So this is the head joint. Just like people, it has a head. So this is a head joint. The longer part is the body. So this is the main body of the instrument. And this is the foot joint. So just like a person has a head, a body, and a foot. Now on mine, you'll notice that my keys have holes. This is a professional flute that you won't have for a little while. Some of my students start getting an open hole flute when they're in 8th or 9th grade, which is great. I also have an extra key here. I can play 1 note lower. I can play down to a low B. Right now, you only have down to a low C. So if you keep going, these are some things that you can add on to make your instrument more exciting. So to start, we're only going to be using the head joint today. So take the head joint out. You can close your case, put that to the side so it's not in the way. And then, let's see, I'm kind of flipped in this video. So the flute will come up, and this is my right side. So you will do an opposite of what you see. So this is, you're going to put it up with it going off to your right. So make sure you know what your right is. So flute is very different than any other instrument in that you don't blow into the instrument. If you did, it would sound like this. Nothing happens. So if any of you have ever taken like a plastic soda container or a bottle, like a water bottle, and blown over the top of it, you'll have gotten a sound. And depending on how much water something is, you get a different sound. So this is a good way to practice your flute embouchure. Of course, I can't do it with this bottle, but that's what you want to do. And notice that's going over the top. Oh, got a little bit. So I need more practice on my water bottles. But on a flute, it's the same thing. The air is going to go right across this hole. This is called the tone hole. And the shape that your mouth goes into is called your embouchure. So that's a really fancy French word. That means the shape that your mouth has to be in to make a sound. So a trick that I tell all my flute players that my teacher told me in 4th grade and made a huge difference is you're going to kiss the hole. So go right, hold flat on your lips. Right there. And then you're going to just roll it down so that you can just see the hole. Notice that the instrument is staying in line with my mouth. If I get tired, that means my head has to go down. This will not work because now the hole is not lined up with my mouth, and my lip's going to get in the way, and then the sound isn't going to work really well. So again, kiss the hole, go straight on, roll it down just a little bit, and this is a perfect flute embouchure. This is where the flute needs to be. Then you're going to give yourself some, tighten your cheeks a little bit. And just blow across that hole. Don't blow down into the instrument because you're not going to get a lot of sound. You're essentially, the air is going in and hitting this back plate right here, and that's where all the sound comes from. So again, so kiss the hole, roll down. Now, I will be honest with you. That took me a week when I was in 4th grade. Some people will get it right away, and that's great. Some people will take a little bit longer. You have never done this in your life before, and it's completely fine for this to take a little bit of time. So that's why we only use the head joint at the beginning. There's no need to use any part of the flute yet, because that gets a little bit more complicated. If you're able to get a sound, that's awesome. If not, just keep working on it a little bit each day. Don't get frustrated. See how long you can hold a note for. Get out a timer, check on a watch that has a second hand, and see how long you can go. Always breathe in through your mouth. See how long you can go. Now you only get one note this way, but you can do some fun things. Once you're able to get that sound out, if it's today on your first lesson, that's great. If it's later, completely fine. You can then use the palm of your hand and cover the end, and it drops down. It can be really annoying with that, annoy everyone around you, but it makes it a little bit more exciting. But my task for you is once you can get that sound out, even if it doesn't sound great, you can get a sound out. I want you to learn how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb on just this. So some of these other instruments, they come in, they get a note out, they're playing some things. You can impress them. You don't even need your whole instrument to play a song. So the way you're going to do that is you're going to be putting your finger in the end and finding the right distance in order to play it. So obviously, if you get it in the wrong spot, just make some adjustments. But you're able to play one song with just this. Maybe there's other songs. Are you able to figure out another song that you could play on just your mouthpiece? Maybe there's a pop song. But remember, there's only 3 notes. So you probably could do like Hot Cross Buns or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So try it out. Now, did you notice what I was doing when I was starting each note? Some of you heard like a little t. That's called articulation. So right away from the very first time you play an instrument, you want to make sure that your tongue is hitting right behind your front teeth in order to get a nice crisp sound to start. Tut, 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 tut. Right away. It's really hard to do this in a couple of years after you've gotten in the habit of doing something else. So make sure you're not hooing. No one's an owl. So you don't want to do that. So make sure, 2, 2. So even if you're playing on just the mouthpiece, keep that very long. So I hope that this was great. Work on that. I'd love to see some feedback. If you're able to share any videos of you playing Mary Had a Little Lamb or any other song on just your mouthpiece, that would be awesome. I want to tell you that choosing the flute was a great option. And I really hope that you keep going. I'm here for any of your flute questions. Good luck. Have a good day.